What's up, guys? It's Moe. I got another video to shoot. Talk about this Raw tonight. It was pretty intense, very intense. But tonight kind of also left me speechless. This thing with, I'll tell you what the best parts of the night. The CM Punk rambling and ranting. I love this. Is it just me, or I feel like it is a thing that the CM Punk Paul Heyman rivalry is more entertaining than this thing with Orton and Bryan and the McMahons. Yeah. Also, I want to talk about this thing. What I don't like, there was something else I kind of didn't like. How the fans, and I even see some of all the dirt sheets on this Facebook, that Pro Wrestling One and all that stuff, they actually cheered and were glad that John Cena's injured and he'll be out for like 4 to 6 months, I believe he said. I don't like, sure, I can understand people hating John Cena. They hate, a lot of people love him and a lot of people hate him. But cheering on a man that gets injured like that, that's just not cool. That's just not cool. That's classy. I know y'all passionate fans, but there's a difference between being passionate and being classless. Personally, I'm kind of mixed with Cena. I like Cena a lot. I respect Cena a lot. Everybody but wanting to turn him heel or tell him to get out of the business for good, and that's just not cool. There's people that love this business just as much as he does, and they get it, and then they take injuries day after day. And that's just for me saying, they cheer that Cena's gonna be out for a long while with a serious injury like that. That's just not cool. I think that's just classless and that's just wrong. If it was someone else that had to do the same thing, it wouldn't do that. Because what if it happened to Daniel Bryan or to Rob Van Dam or even CM Punk, something like that? The fans would just be in tears. I'd say that. They would be in tears if all that happened to one of them. And it's ridiculous. That's just... That's just what I gotta say about that. It's just classy. It's just not cool, not classy, not respectful that they cheer that he's injured like that. It's just not. It's not it. Best parts of Raw. Cody Rhodes got his win again. He needs to be. I definitely think he needs to have a world title match for sure. Speaking of which, Alberto Del Rio, he beat Sin Cara. From all I heard, Sin Cara might have gotten injured. And then, so the return of Ricardo. And he came out with Rob Van Dam. If this puts Rob Van Dam in the main event match for the World Heavyweight title, I hope to God that Rob Van Dam becomes world champion. He definitely, like I said, one of my personal favorites. He definitely deserves to be world champion. He did it before. He can do it again. I know it, and I would love it. Also, like I said with the thing, CM Punk coming out injured, bad mouthing some big dude that was booing him. I like that. And that's just Punk from when they were breaking the fourth wall and ranting and bitching at him. That was too funny. And it just seems to me like his thing against Paul Heyman is probably the most entertaining storyline thing right now going on today. This thing with, and then here's the thing. After what I just saw with Daniel Bryan, I'm really hoping Daniel Bryan does what CM Punk did 2 years ago. Like I said, this SummerSlam this year was just like SummerSlam 2 years ago. There was a lot of similarities within the WWE Championship match at SummerSlam 2011 and this year's SummerSlam. The only couple of differences was the opponents for John Cena. But all the same stuff happened, The opponent Cena beat John and wins the championship. And then somebody ends up showing up. I believe it was, at that time it was Nash. This time it was the referee himself, who was the same referee that year, Triple H. And then the Money in the Bank person cashed in. That year was Del Rio. This year was Orton. And then tonight, with what I just saw, I just don't think I like this storyline. Daniel Bryan deserves to be a WWE champion, and then they just screw him like that. And then tonight, what we just saw. Now, don't get me wrong about this. I like the thing with Orton and Daniel Bryan. That's a good match. That would be a good match. They've had battles before. I would love for that. I'd love for that. But I just personally think the McMahons, Triple H, Stephanie, and Vince are screwing it up. You know, they don't need to be involved. This really should have nothing to do with them. They just, personally, I think they're just ruining things. And it just proves to my point, especially what Steph said to Daniel Bryan earlier, that he's not the face of the WWE. Who is? Cena? Orton? They've been, that's like 10 years ago. Honestly. I think Daniel Bryan is definitely the face of the WWE. He's the next big thing. He should be the WWE champion. He's the one who can out-wrestle half that roster just like that. I just don't get it. And it just proves my point with what I've been saying, that you gotta be a heel, a big-time heel, to become a major champion. They don't want to give it to a babyface guy. And I hear all these dirt sheets say, oh, the heels are so entertaining. They're so entertaining. It's better to be a face. Why do you want to be a face? The heels are much more entertaining than the face. Bullshit. If everybody was a heel, like I said before, everybody was a heel, no one would be. I'm old-fashioned. Yeah, I admit that. I like cheering on the face than cheering on the heel, unless the heel or certain wrestlers are more talented than the other wrestlers. Like Daniel Bryan, like Kofi Kingston, like Mark Henry, like those, like CM Punk, like those guys. They can out-wrestle half the freaking roster, and they're not being pushed to main event status, or let alone become champion, because they're not the face of the company. They did that when Christian was champ. They did that when Rey Mysterio was champ. Now they did it with Daniel Bryan as champ. And even when I said with the CM Punk, I gotta say this: CM Punk held that impressive reign, awesome. But then it hit me. In the middle of that reign, he became the heel again. And basically, and that's what kind of extended his reign as champion. Because I bet if he never became heel during that reign, I bet he wouldn't have lasted that long. They would have had him lose that title probably at a WrestleMania or a SummerSlam or whatever. They probably would have had him lose that title. You know, I'm pinpointing this to the companies, to the McMahon especially, because I know they just proved that pretty much they're the biggest dicks of the WWE. Hands down. That's all I gotta say about that. Bottom line, Daniel Bryan, you're gonna get your title back. You deserve that championship. I hope somebody puts a stop to Orton and the Shield and the McMahons for good. And congratulations to the McMahons for screwing up a good storyline. That's just me, alright? That's all I gotta say. I'm still speechless about what happened. Daniel Bryan, you're gonna be the man again. Yes, yes, yes.